This is Michael Gerace with Clearview Sewer Cams. It is January 18th, 2023. We're located at 208 South Anita Avenue, Los Angeles, California, 90049. We are performing a video sewer inspection through the 4-inch ABS plastic mainline cleanout. At the front of the property, it is on the left-hand side of the walkway as you're walking up to the front door. We're going to wipe our camera lens off real quick. Go. And this is the front of the property going out toward the street. This is our 4-inch ABS plastic mainline sewer cleanout with a green cover, with a green sewer cover. And it is marked sewer on the cover. And right to our left is the garage, and right back behind us is the front door to the house. We're going to set our camera right at the cleanout. It is a two-way cleanout. It's a little bit deep, so it may be difficult to tell which way a snake is going or anything else if the line is stopped up. Generally, we put two-way system in there called bullhorns. We'll put two cleanouts, one facing toward the street and one facing back toward the house. Generally, the one closest to the house is running out toward the street, and the one closest to the street is running back toward the house. That is typical. If the cleanout is very shallow, then sometimes we'll put a two-way cleanout system. But this one's about 3 feet deep, so it may be difficult to tell if it's full of water which way you're going. But right now it's empty. We can see which way you're going. And we're going to begin. We're going to zero out our camera monitor, get a good accurate reading. And we're going to begin running our camera through. And as I said, we're right at the top of our cleanout. Now we drop down in here and we can see the bottom of the cleanout. And now we're heading out toward the street. We're going to head out toward the street. Going to take a look at the line. Appears to be an ABS plastic sewer line so far. All the way, hopefully all the way to most likely the property line. Those joints look like they're rolled, so this was probably replaced. And this is a trenchless sewer line, more than likely, from what we can see. Going to continue to run out. Take a look at these joints. Now, those joints are ABS plastic joints from what they look like. So part of it may be trenchless, part of it may be just ABS plastic, or it could all be ABS plastic. Then we're transitioning to what was most likely vitreous clay at one time, and we're increasing to 6-inch. We're in the 4-inch property sewer line, and now we're increasing to the 6-inch city lateral at the property line. And this line has been lined. The sewer has been lined with a CIPP, cured in place piping, sewer liner. It's a thin liner like a cloth sock that is soaked in epoxy and blown into the line, and then it cures and becomes a hard piece of pipe within a pipe. It's a rehabilitation method. So far it looks to be in fair and maintainable condition. There's something hanging down from the top, and that looks like just a piece of the strip coming off of the liner, or it could be roots right there. It looks like maybe roots have penetrated the liner. We do have tree roots here, and there is like a puncture mark right there. So it looks like roots have punctured the liner right here. We're going to pause and we're going to locate this area. Or we'll locate it on the way back. We're at 3910. We're just going to run out and we're going to take a look. It almost appears that someone has come in here and run a snake possibly and chewed up the side of the liner. As you can see, there's like puncture marks all over the place. And those puncture marks, the roots can get through a lot easier. Running out toward the city sewer, so far the liner doesn't appear to be in terrible condition. Got a little wrinkle right there at the end of the liner. It's kind of curled up, which is not great. It's holding back a little bit of water, but really shouldn't harm anything. We're out far enough and easily enough to get over. And this is the transition going into the city sewer. And that's our city sewer right there. We're kind of dangling. We're going to pull back now. And that's the edge of the saddle fitting right there. We're kind of hanging down a little bit. The saddle fitting appears to be in fair condition. Looks like it's lined up fairly well. Got a little bit of a wrinkle making the turn dropping down, but again, shouldn't harm anything. As long as somebody is not in there running a snake with blades, that should not be a major issue. So we're going to continue to pull back now, and at about 39 feet 10 inches, we're going to take a look and just mark that area. Right now it's not major and can possibly be maintained with a chemical called Root X, R-O-O-T-X. But once a liner has been penetrated, can definitely cause problems. We're going to mark 3910 and then we'll go back and we'll take a look at the rest of the areas. It got chewed up a little bit in here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to locate this area and mark this area. So we're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we've located this area and we've marked this area with a pink dot of paint inside the street at approximately 6 foot 4 inches deep. And we marked it with a dot of paint. It is right at the edge of the asphalt, just into the street, past the concrete swale of the curb area. So that's 6 foot 4 inches deep, and that's where we have the root growing through now. And we have a lot of puncture marks right in this area as well. We're going to pull back now. We're going to locate the 6-inch by 4-inch vitreous clay transition, and this liner may have to be reinstalled. May have to put another one in. May have to cut this one and cut it out and install another liner. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to locate this area. This is the transition from the property line, 4-inch property line sewer, to the 6-inch city lateral that has been lined. We're going to pause for just a brief moment and locate this area. No,
How old are you?
now I'm recording. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this is the transition. I put an orange flag right outside the hedge line in the gravel. It's 5 feet 8 inches deep right there. So I put an orange flag out there to mark it. Now as I go in, you see how smooth it is?
Yeah.
Then you'll see I'm going to be coming up to it on the right.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Right here. See where those little points are on the side?
Uh-huh.
It's not terrible there, but it's getting worse. See, it's chewed up right there. And chewed up here, and see you got a root growing in right there. You got the stem of the root. It penetrated already, and it's coming through here, and then you see the offshoot of the root there.
What does
So
it take to, what's like an estimate or something that it takes to fix something like that? Like where we at?
Probably somewhere right around maybe $5,200 to $5,400
Okay,
to replace that.
okay,
Okay, and then as we go in, you'll see you have more of them. And we're going to have roots growing through there. And you're already getting hairline roots growing through. And that was most likely from running a snake.
yeah, because you could see it looks like
Yeah.
someone did. Yeah, that's exactly what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're running the snake, and as it turns, it's catching the liner a little bit
Okay.
and tearing it. That's where you start getting all the roots growing in. And then at about this point, you stop.
Okay.
Now part of it, I'm going to pause this for just a moment. Okay, we're going to pull our camera back. We just went over everything with Piper and with Jamie, the two people that are on the property with the realtors, and we are pulling our camera back now. We'll pull it back, and as we pointed out, we have root intrusions. You can see little spots here and there, and we have root intrusions coming through this liner, and it's just going to get worse. And trying to maintain this, you're going to tear up the liner more and more trying to maintain it. We have root intrusion, especially here. See, we have major section where we have some roots poking through, and more than likely somebody came in and ran a snake to try and maintain this, which should have been maintained. But then again, it could be ficus roots that are just poking through all over the place. And that is our 4 to 6 inch city lateral transition. And from there back, we looked to be in pretty decent condition. Got a little bit of an offset right here in this joint. More than likely that's due to an all rubber fern coat coupling. That's a coupling that's kind of weak and has some give to it. It's not a good solid neoprene band with a stainless steel coupling, which would tighten it down and keep it right in line, keep it in place, and it would not offset. Pulling back, that joint appeared to be in fair and maintainable condition, in line pretty well. That's all ABS plastic from what we can see. We're just going to run up real quick. We're going to run up the line a little bit. Looks like more than likely cast iron. Got a little debris in there. Looks like it could be cast iron. Difficult to tell exactly. Could be ABS plastic as well, going back toward the house, but it definitely, to me, it looks like cast iron. Got a little bit of rutting, a little bit of buildup, and this should be cleaned a little bit. Wouldn't hurt to possibly hydrojet going back up the line. Gonna pause for a moment. We're going to continue running back up the line. We have some rutting, which now it's definitely cast iron to have this kind of rutting. So this should be cleaned. This should be hydrojetted and possibly run a picote tool, which I will put down as an option. Try and clean it out a little bit. So we're running out toward the back of the house. Making a little turn. That looks like ABS plastic, and we're holding a little bit of water. Could be cast iron. Difficult to tell where we're at. We're holding back a little bit of water in here. And it still looks like cast iron. And that's the end of the run. That would be the back of the house, probably coming up to a toilet area. Can't run any further. So we're going to pause right there. Okay, so we've got some buildup in the line. Got some buildup in the line, and needs to be hydrojetted. Holding a little bit of water in there because of the buildup. It starts damming up the water. Kind of like barnacles on a boat. There's nodules in the line, there's bumps and little humps in there and such that, and rutting, where you can see the bottom of the pipe, but on the sides you got scaling. That could just really use a good cleaning. All these ruts and the scaling and such will catch paper and catch debris and cause stoppages. Now we're coming back. This portion of the pipe appears to be fairly clean. And we have some rutting here and some big nodules, humps and bumps in there, and again, just needs to be cleaned real well. Continue pulling back. We already looked at the whole line. And that will complete our video sewer inspection and video waste line inspection going back into the house.